Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. And today we're doing another dragon but bigger, but with less parts. This one should not be as intense as the last dragon we did. And this one actually matches the theme of the month. The belly that we're going to start with here is actually supposed to be a heart-shaped. It kind of looks that way. It's more like diamonds to me. So either I did it wrong or that's just how it is. Not really sure. But we are going to try and work with this as best we can. Which means I need to spend a minute or two to figure out the best position to put this in. Now this one is quite a bit bigger than the other ones we've done. So I'm going to start with the belly here, the neck and belly. Apparently I need to get rid of this pin already because it's in the way. Now the yarn I used is a metallic rainbow. Dark metallic rainbow, so the color parts are kind of shiny. It's a little harder to see on camera or over picture, so you will just have to trust me on that fact. Definitely looks better in person. I didn't have a whole lot of this metallic yarn, so I wanted to make it the accent color. I started with the wings and just kind of went along with as much as I had for it. And I think it turned out pretty cute. Now this one I don't believe has any kind of wire in it. I just stuffed it rather firmly with the polyfill. It's not superposable, but it should be able to stand up on its own. I also seem to have lost my metal needle, so I will be using this plastic one. Will probably have some challenges on its own. Because this is a bigger dragon, my string has to be quite a bit longer. I am going to be rather mindful of where my extra string is. Try not to snag everything as much as possible. Now you might see some fluffy white fuzz attached to this at times, and that's just because it fell into my stuffing box and took souvenirs. This one's a little bit difficult to attach things a different way. I don't know if any of you guys did anything fun for February, for Valentine's Day, anything like that. Didn't? I relaxed at home and crocheted and played Stardew Valley. Not at the same time, obviously. It is a little difficult to do. Currently working on a snail. Uh, Not a whole lot of sewing goes on with the snails, so I will have them, but I don't think they will be the only thing featured on the video that I put them on. The longest part will be the shell. It is a round spiral shell. Of course, gotta sew the spirals in place so it doesn't unwind. Now, these pins are a little too big for me to be using the pin cushion ring, so I do just have my box out today. This was a bigger stuffed animal, so I used the bigger pins on it. Now we're getting to a weird spot. This is right where I want to attach that arm. Very carefully in that stitch and then go in the belly plate. Attach from the pin there. The arm is probably going to stitch into the belly plate a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about it. This part and the wings are probably going to be the part that takes the most time because the wings I still have to stitch them together as well. But I'll try and get as much done as possible. I don't want this to be a multi-part video. So if I don't finish it on camera, I will off camera. Or this will just go over an hour by a little bit. Who knows? Thing seems charged and ready to go for a longer video today, so hopefully we'll be fine. You can get pushed back. You can come out now. I'm going to remove this orange pin. It's going to be in the way. Wow. Concept. This dragon does have back legs. They're just detached at the moment because they kind of fell off. And I couldn't be bothered to put them back on. Figured they'd probably be slightly in the way anyways. We just ran without them. Kind of hard to run without your legs, isn't it? Still gonna be in the way. Almost done with this awkward section. I realized in my setup the one thing I forgot to do was get myself a drink. I do not have my water or tea today. But oh well. I'll live. Or I just chug an entire thing of water after this. It's fine. Self on a pin. Now I'm attempting to keep as few cat hairs or me hairs attached to this as possible. I'm trying to remove them as I see them. But they are stubborn. They kind of have the I'll do what I want mentality. And I refuse to wear a hairnet while doing things, so my own hair will just get involved at times. Uh, fix this real quick. Less likely to fly off. Need to do a readjustment. And then I have to check my equipment to make sure it's still on. Make sure nothing turned off in the middle of recording. Sometimes it's better to just take the path of least resistance, especially in projects like this. Don't give yourself a bigger headache. I am going to adjust where these are just slightly. Now that I've kind of got it mostly attached, I can move them down a little bit. Oh, they were starting to get a little bunched up. We don't want that. I want to be able to see the shape, even if the shape is a little confusing. I definitely don't think I did it right. It only vaguely looks like heart. It's fine. It would probably look a little more like a heart if I did solid color instead of a variegated yarn. Oh well. It is what it is. It still looks cool. Discs, hearts, spades. Doesn't really matter. One day I will get this to do what I want it to. The thing about crafting is the crafter might have audacity, but so does the craft. I will probably do the tail after I do this, just so I don't have those strings flopping around as much. And it looks pretty cool. I want to make sure it's in the video. This dragon does not have a spine part. There's nothing going down the back or down the tail. There is 4 legs, 2 ears, 2 eye plates, this belly plate, tail piece. I don't know if I already said limbs or not, but there's 4 limbs. Each limb is one part this time. And of course we have the wings, but they're not any different than the last dragon's wings. They're just different in color, not design. Now these wings also don't have any kind of support in them, so they are very floppy. I will probably try and stuff the ridges of them. I may just do that off camera. Alright, halfway through the video and we are almost done with the belly. Like I said, this was going to be the part that took the longest just due to its shape. I'm trying to cleanly attach it following its shape. I lied, we're not even halfway through this, so this might end up being multi-part. Just because the belly takes so long. I will probably do bits and pieces, like I'll probably attach the legs separately on a different video. That way we're not just repeating things, or not in a different video, just off camera, so we're not repeating things as much. Do the things that are different on camera. For anyone who actually cares about watching. Because apparently it's going to take me the entire video just to sew the belly onto this. Belly and the tail. Fin. Kind of a fin. Kind of the toothless shape. wide fin, fin, whatever you want to call it. One of those. Now, I've yet to decide if this one's going to be for sale. I just really liked the colors. I might keep it. Then again, I do have so many stuffed animals because I can just make them whenever I want to, which is all the time. Yeah, I won't keep it. Or I'll include something else to sell. I am going to be experimenting with my patterns a little bit more. Because I recently found out that some of the patterns line up with other ones in different books. So I have Megan Lapp's most recent book of mushroom sprites and snails, and I've been playing with that, and I realized that the arms and the legs of the mushroom sprites line up with the stitch count for the impkins arms and legs just fine. So I might be using the imkin bodies instead of the mushroom sprite bodies and heads with some extended and differently shaped limbs. I also learned that the mushroom sprites, the sitting ones, fit if I use the same size yarn. They fit on the unicorn. And the book comes with patterns for saddles so that the mushroom sprites can ride the snails. So I might be doing that soon. I think I actually have a mushroom sprite that would fit this dragon. I'm gonna go grab him real quick. He is one I am intending on keeping for myself, but he is a sitting sprite. Does not match this very well, but he does fit on the dragon, so I could do a wingless dragon and put a mushroom sprite on it. You know, things we do. We have Fantasyland, we have imagination, and we have the ability to just do things. We might have mushrooms riding drakes. I think it's drakes that don't have wings in most common terminology. Full dragons have, full Western dragons have 4 limbs and wings. Worms have wings but no limbs. Wyverns have the back limbs, back legs and wings, but no front legs. And I think it's drakes that have the 4 limbs, but no wings. Could be wrong on this. And that's just Western dragons. Anything outside of that has its own terminology. And of course, the fantasy world you're getting it from also will have its own rules. But in most cases, that is how I see various things. Come on now. No, don't split the yarn. There you go. People. Alright, we are halfway done with the belly because now we gotta go back up. Woo! I have no concept of time. I don't know if anybody has noticed that, but that is just a thing that comes with having ADHD. I don't know how time works. So 32 minutes in, we almost have one part attached. We have it half attached. So I will probably work on the wings and the legs off camera and have other things to do next time. We'll still attach like the head and the face ornaments and stuff. I might actually attach the wings, but I will do like the stuffing and things like that off camera for the wings. But we'll see. We'll see how far we actually get here. Today is spring cleaning day. I'm gonna clean the house. We try to do that once a week. A nice deep clean of the floors and counters. But I feel like I'm doing surgery. I guess I kind of am. Body parts together. I know that's not exactly what surgery is, but it's kind of what surgery is. Doing Frankenstein. Type surgery. That this definitely should not come alive when I'm done. Unless Toy Story didn't lie to us and toys really are alive. In which case, I have so many questions. Like, is it all toys? Is it just toys with a face? What decides if a toy is alive? the hardest part of this. How do I position it so you guys can still see it and I can still work with it? It's also difficult when dealing with the plastic needle. Because it bends. Just trying to go through the fabric a little more flimsy. I'm constantly afraid of breaking it. You'd think you'd want the flexibility when working with projects like this, but you don't. You don't have as much control over where your needle's going. You can't just power it through the spot. I don't know where my metal needle is. So we're using the plastic one. I'm pretty sure my cat knocked it into the carpet and then it just got pushed under something. But I have no idea where that could be right now. Because this room's kind of a mess, which is definitely my fault. And I will need to fix that, probably today. It also needs a good vacuum. Be careful where I grab. There are still pins in this thing. I have to manhandle this thing. It's definitely a good thing it's not alive. I would probably be doing more damage than good right now. I need to stand to work on this. Sometimes you just gotta do that, you know? And now the string wants to tangle. Thank you for that. tangled in its own fuzz. And you can kind of see how shiny it is. Makes it hard to see the colors. It is really pretty, honestly. Now I'm wondering what you would call a creature that, as it is currently, where it has front legs and wings, but no back legs. Abomination? I don't know. I'm sure there's a term for it. I just don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments if you know. Alrighty. About 3/4 of the way there. I think the last one didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would. This one has less parts of it. It should take less time. Wrong. I'm usually wrong. I'm kind of used to that. No matter how hard I try, I can't learn how time works. This also isn't just a regular rectangle. Curves are more complicated. Why there's a debate on curvy women. I don't know. Next time I do something like this, I think I'm going to need to get a hair tie. Because my hair is now more in the way. And for anyone wondering, yes, I do live in my pajamas, thank you. I do have normal clothes, but I don't go anywhere for work, so I don't have to dress for work most of the time. I, on occasion, have work trips, but more times than not, I do not need to go anywhere. Because I work from home. And if I get up early enough, I can crank this video out before I start work. That did not happen this week, and I'm now doing it on a Saturday in the middle of the day because that's when I had time. You're not making a knot. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to sit back down again for this. We're no longer at the hyper awkward part of the middle of the dragon on the wrong side. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but certain sides are more difficult to work with than others, and I don't know why. Why can't they both be easy? Decided to get stuck. Sometimes sound effects are important. They make things work. Don't know the science behind it. You just have to trust me. Maybe that's just called being neurospicy. I don't know. Go back there. Was there an easier way of doing this? I don't know, probably. Do I know what that way is? Obviously not. This arm flopping is going to drive me nuts. Stay in place. I'm being realistic here. Everyone always talks about with the neurospicy. There's like the bad spoon, the bad utensil. I don't have a bad spoon. Like, not a singular spoon. I don't like the bigger spoons. I like the smaller spoons. They fit in my mouth better. I don't have a singular bad spoon. I just have a bad size of spoon in my drawer. Same with like the forks and stuff. I do not have a singular bad fork. It's just a bad size of forks. Like, I don't put the whole fork in my mouth. It's just a waste of fork. But I have to wash the whole fork if I use that fork. At least while I was hand washing dishes, and I still sometimes do. Like, more food gets stuck and lost on the fork, and it just seems like a hassle. It just doesn't need to be a hassle. We get the smaller fork. I know there's fancy etiquette behind each size of spoon and fork, but they don't care. They don't care about etiquette when I'm just eating cereal. I don't think anybody else knows etiquette in my group of people that I'm going to be seeing anytime soon either. We are not fancy people. We are going to make our knot right about here so that it's not super visible. And then we hide our string, maybe. And snip snip. We've accomplished so much on this video. We're already 56 minutes in. We're gonna work on the tail, which should not take 56 minutes. Alright, so we just gonna go through here and do our best. My husband doing something in the kitchen. Don't know what, but it's not my problem. Probably will be as soon as I'm done, though. But we are almost there. White spots are part of why I don't like using the plastic needle. Because again, it just bends. It doesn't push through very well. I think something got on this at some point, but I don't know what. We'll just have to take a stain remover to it later. Alrighty. Now we just get these little pieces attached to the sides like this. We don't want these flaps to be just in the wind here. We do want them to be attached. To the side like this. And then we're going to make the other side match. Alright, and now we have attached this, so we're going to make a little knot here. And hide our string. We're going to go down this way with it because there's more room. Fight with the string. Then we're going to hide this string. And hide this one. Oh, and then we can snip snip. And we're already at a little over an hour. So we will go ahead and call it here. So more will be done on this by next time before we finish it on camera, but I will end up unfortunately making this another part video. So if you want to skip it, that's totally fine. If you do want to see it finished next time, great, stay tuned. Otherwise, if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you want part 2 and more content. and I will see you guys in the next one.